Hi, the cadets call me Miss B. My name is Victoria Beaulieu, and I'm working with the seniors this year. I teach a class called Senior Seminar, and the goal of this class, it's new this year, and the goal is to make sure that I touch base with every single senior at least once a week. When I'm not in class with the seniors, I have one-on-one meetings with them. So I have office hours that they have set up with me. I have been really impressed. I've met with a lot of the seniors already. They have taken the initiative, emailed me, set up times to talk to me. This whole process is very individualized, and so it's hard to get to all of them in a half an hour once a week. So the one-on-one meetings are more specific to what they need. Which has been absolutely fantastic. So I am part-time, so when I'm not teaching, I'm meeting with them, which means the emails and any correspondence after that will come in the evening. So if you see emails from me, that's why, because when I'm on campus, I'm meeting with each of the students. Sorry, I have notes here. I'm not used to doing this over video. I spend a lot of my time answering the questions on the process. I have some students who have absolutely no idea what they want to do after high school. And I have some students who have already applied, were done. They were contacting me in July. So there are a lot of moving parts to this, and I think we all need to be in communication. I'm very, very, very adamant about communicating. I must communicate with the seniors. It's very hard to do with 17-year-old boys. And so I have really, really been on them about communicating with me. If they say to you, Miss B is harassing me, they're correct. I am. That is my job. And I need to make sure that I know everything going on with them, from have they applied, do they know where they want to apply, so on and so forth. During term one, we spent a lot of time doing test prep, getting them ready for that SAT, ACT. It's been very different this year, and there are a lot more questions, but we spent the first term really getting ready for that. Second term is more focused on the actual college application process. My goal is to make sure that every single senior has a goal, has a plan before they leave on their big break. We need to know deadlines. We need to know what schools they're applying to. And that involves conversations. They need to be having conversations with you. They need to be talking, do they have to go in-state, out-of-state? There is a huge financial piece to this. This is a massive investment. Some of them think of that, some of them don't. So those are conversations that need to be had. We need to talk about the size of the school. Do the schools that they're interested in have multiple majors that they might be interested in? Not just one, because they could possibly change their mind when they get to college and decide that what they think they want to do now is not what they're going to do 2 years from now. So we need to have a lot of options on the table, and these conversations take time to be had. So I'm working with them to work with you, so in November when they go home, we have a game plan about when their deadlines are and what they need to do to get there. Sequence of events. So this is kind of an overview of the events, and then I only have 2 more points and we're done. Working through the list of places they want to apply. Know the deadlines for each of the schools. Ask the teachers for letter of recommendations. We have a lot of new seniors. Are they asking teachers from previous schools? They need to email them and ask them nicely. They also need to provide a resume or information. So students that have asked me this year for letters of recommendation, I've asked them to fill out a cadet information form. I need to know everything that they've done for the past 4 years, so my letter can really highlight all of their strengths. They actually have to apply. We won't send information. I'm not sending their transcript until their application is in. We have schools that have 60,000 applicants. If they get an applicant that's not on their list, they will throw a transcript on their list, and the student hasn't actually applied, they'll throw that transcript out and we'll have to resend it. So the students have to understand that their application needs to be paid for and sent to the school for me to send their information. Also, their essay needs to be done if it's required. Some schools ask for essays, some schools ask for short answer questions. They need to know kind of what they're up against, and that takes time to write the essay, know what they want to write, and then have it edited. I have already had students send essays that were not proofread. I have told them a number of times, you must have the essays proofread by multiple people. They might ask you to proofread them. They might ask their uncle to proofread them. We have English teachers here that are helping. They can ask me to do it. I have highly recommended they have multiple people look at that essay to make sure it is the best, because a lot of these schools are now test optional with COVID. They're really looking at the essays. They were before, but now it's even more critical. And so I'm really letting them know they need to get started on that early. They need to review their transcript with me. So they need to make sure that everything's on there, especially if they're coming from multiple schools, multiple high schools. So before I send that transcript, I have a check box on a spreadsheet for each senior that says that they've reviewed their transcript with me. Then I will send it. They also need to let me know what platform they're sending it. Some colleges use Common App, some use Coalition, some use their personal, and some are going through QuestBridge. I need to know, because if I send their information on a different platform, the school will not receive it. I've seen it happen. So I have 20 years experience working with high school students, whether mentoring. I own a tutoring company outside of FUMA. I have witnessed when a student said that they were applying on the Common App, changed their mind after visiting the school, this is UNC Wilmington. They sent it through the personal app but didn't tell the college advisor. So the parent got an email that said, your information was never sent from your school. Parent freaks out. Parent called the college advisor, freaked out on the college advisor. College advisor did send the information, but sent it through the Common App because that's what the student had told her. So I need to make sure that these students are telling me, yes, I applied through the Common App. Usually I get an email from Common App. But if they're applying to VMI, I don't get anything. I don't know that to send it because VMI never contacts me. So I need to have this huge communication piece with each of the seniors. They know this. I've been saying this every single week since they came. I just am a constant repeat about this communication piece. If the transcript can be uploaded online, I'm the one to send it. So that's most of them. 99% of them are now online. I can upload the transcript. Some are going through the mail. That's through Rhonda White, and that's a separate process that they go through. It's very rare. But again, they have to tell me, are we uploading it? Are we sending it? Did it go through Rhonda? When did she send it? I have to make sure all of this is documented. And then after it's all set and everything's done, we wait. They need to follow up. The cadet needs to follow up on the school, make sure they have everything. There's two other pieces. The other piece is financial aid and scholarships. I am recommending students for scholarships if they meet the criteria. These scholarships are very, very, very specific, very specific. So if I have a senior that meets the requirements, I will recommend them for a scholarship. I will put a link to this about other scholarships that are out there. That takes a lot of time to sift through, read, find out the criteria for the scholarships. There's also financial aid, which is a whole nother beast. So these are all conversations that need to be had, and that's very personal and very specific to each family. And I don't necessarily need to know. You don't have to tell me if you need financial aid, but I'm letting you know that these are pieces and I can give you information if you need them. And the last piece is something that's very, very important in my eyes. It's this emotional piece. This is a very, very stressful situation for these students. They instantly tense when I start talking about colleges. They instantly, some of them shut down. If you have a student or a son who is not communicating, he's afraid. He's anxious. This is fearful. I have had multiple students, men and women, break down, panic attacks, cry. They are afraid. Fear of rejection is a real thing. Fear of the unknown is a real thing. I have parents very anxious. I get emails, they're very anxious. My prayer and my wish is that we do all of this with grace and love. That we, all of us, are very supportive of one another because we understand that this is anxiety producing. I'm excited because I know it's going to be great and wonderful and fantastic. I'm excited for their future, but I also realize that in talking about this, it causes anxiety. So I'm asking you to please support them. I encourage them to have multiple options. I want a plan A, but as my sister says, I want a rockin' plan B, plan C, plan D. I want to make sure that they have on their list They can go for reaches. I will never discourage them from applying to a school that might have higher admissions requirements than what they have. But I also want to make sure that they have matches and safeties on their list as well, so I can sleep at night. But they need to find multiple schools where they can see themselves. So it's less anxiety producing. Some of the things that I do are to offset that anxiety. They say to me they're only applying to Harvard and that is it. That is more anxiety producing than somebody who has 6 solid choices. 2 of them can be reaches, but the other ones we feel comfortable and confident. The other piece to it is there are no guarantees, none. Even if it's a safety, there's still a 10% chance that the student won't get in. I've watched it happen. I've seen kids who have triple legacy shoe into a school, get waitlisted. I've seen they had everything, check. They met all of the requirements and they still got waitlisted. On the reverse, I've seen students who had lower scores, lower GPAs, got in first go, not even waitlisted. I have a student right now at Virginia Tech who I told the family there's a very slim chance that he would get in, totally got in. Great, wonderful, fantastic. My point in telling you this is we all need to be very open-minded, very open to different options, because I honestly and truly believe that there is a plan for everyone. I do believe that everybody on this planet God has made for specific purposes. So whether they are to be an auto mechanic, or they are to work with military or children, or whatever their calling is, we can plan and we can organize as much as possible, but at the end of the day, they have a path and a calling, and we need to be open-minded to encourage and support and love and grace everything that we're trying to organize and plan for. Hopefully this makes sense. The best way to reach me is through email. That will be attached to this link. You've already heard from me. If you haven't heard from me, you should have received an email from me. I sent all of the senior parents an email. If you did not receive it, please let me know. If you leave me a message, it will be more difficult for me to return that call because of my limited hours, but I will do my best to support your son and you through this time.